What's going on, IG? What is the deal? So let me jump on here. I know we've been doing the Millionaire Mastery Call every Sunday, and it's happening again. We have the link. It's now called Believe Mastery. Okay, I'll share with you guys at a later date why I had to change the name there, but definitely excited for it. A lot of great reviews that we've been getting from people that have been logging in. Last week we had some technical difficulties, so this week I'm going to go a little bit longer on the call. It may be about an hour to hour 45 minute call. What's going on, CG? What's going on? Happy birthday again to you, man. It's probably going to be about an hour and a half call that we're going to have on Sunday, because I really want to go over the diamond recruiting system again, make sure everybody really understands that. But really excited to be on here with you guys again. And I wanted to come on this live. I know there's been a lot of different things that have been happening in this world, and one of the things that you have to remember is that change is always constant. Okay, nothing ever stays the same. Nothing ever stays the same. You don't stay the same. Those trees out there don't stay the same. Business doesn't stay the same. Relationships don't stay the same. And what you got to understand is that change is always inevitable. And so now the question is, how do you handle change, or how do you know change is coming? Well, change usually comes right in the middle of challenge. Okay? Change usually comes in the middle of challenges. And what you got to do as you're looking at your life, and whatever area it is that you're maybe facing some challenges right now, you've got to ask yourself, what is it that can possibly change from this challenge that I'm facing? Now, while you're in it, it doesn't feel good. While you're in it, it can feel like the whole world is crumbling around you. All right, it can feel like that, but that's really not what it is. I heard a long time ago that when things are falling apart, they're really falling into place. There's been so many times I've looked back in my life and different challenges and situations that at that very moment I just thought was insurmountable. I thought it was, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know the direction that my life was actually going. But then I look back 3, 4, 5 years later, and I realized that, man, if it wasn't for that challenge, if it wasn't for that particular situation, if it wasn't for that person, right, then I wouldn't be where it is that I am today. So I know it's hard to hear that when you're in the situation. It's much easier to hear it when you come out of it. But if you can remind yourself, right, if you can remind yourself of the challenges that you've had in the past and how you've been able to overcome them. And here's another thing about the bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. Okay, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the change, right? Because every challenge is going to come with sacrifices. There are going to be some sacrifices that you're going to have to make, and sometimes these sacrifices that you're making, it may not just be monetary. These sacrifices may be sacrifices with your time. These sacrifices may be sacrifices with relationships. And I'm in the industry of network marketing, and network marketing is a very interesting industry. It comes under a lot of scrutiny from people because is it a pyramid? Is it not a pyramid? Is it do people really make money in it, or is it just people at the top that make money in it? And I tell people it's just like any other business. It's just like any other business. If you put the work in, you're going to succeed. But that's just one level of things. There's another level where you now have to start understanding the power of relationships. All right? Relationships, ladies and gentlemen, are critical to your success in this industry. If you're going to become a great leader, you've got to be great at relating to people. That's what a relationship is. So when you look at the core values of a relationship, number one has to be communication. So every single day, you've got to ask yourself right now, as a leader, how am I communicating value to the people that I wish to lead? Here's another thing about what you have to understand about relationships are constantly earned. All right, relationships are constantly earned. Because a person is a coach to you today, or a mentor for you today, or you're a mentee to someone, or you're learning from someone, doesn't mean that a year from now, that person still deserves to be your coach or still deserves to be a mentor. That person still has to grow. That person still has to be learning. You still have to feel like, you know what? I can relate to this person. I can learn from this person. And that's why it's important for you as a coach or a mentor. You've got to constantly grow. You've got to constantly be learning and put yourself in environments where you can expand your way of thinking. You can expand the way you're seeing life. When it comes to relationships, you also have to understand that this is going to be the foundation of how your business is going to run. Not just relationships in the field, but also corporate relationships that you have. You know, if you're building a business, the employees that you have, the relationships that you have there. Now, there's always going to be challenges when it comes to people. But what happens is this: you got to ask yourself, where do I see this relationship 5 years from now? Where do I see myself in this business? Where do I see myself in this industry 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And then you've got to make decisions that are based on where you see yourself, not where you are right now. A lot of people make decisions based on where they are right now, not thinking about the future, not thinking about where it is that they want to go. See, I learned a long time ago that I had to see it. If I couldn't see it in the future, then I couldn't hold it today. Because holding it today is me having a level of gratitude for it. It's me having a level of joy for it. Once I'm grateful for it today, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm going to have it. But you can't be grateful for something you can't see. You can't be grateful for something that you haven't pictured, right? Or that you haven't spoken, that you haven't put on your heart, right? For it to really become something that you love, it's got to be on your heart, right? So as you're out building your business right now, you got to set the goal, set the vision of, okay, this is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to get there. But then who am I going to do it with? That's key. Who you do business with is critical. Every time you look at an opportunity, guys, I always look at really 4 things. And sometimes you may ignore certain things for a certain period amount of time, but eventually those things are going to matter. Number 1, you got to look at timing. You know, when you get involved in any business, timing is going to be critical. Now, I'm not talking about timing as far as how long the company's been in existence. No, that's part of it, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about timing in the marketplace. Does what this company have to offer, is it valuable in the marketplace today? Are people looking for what it is that this company has to offer? Then you got to look at timing with the leader. You know, where's the leader right now? Is the leader in hunger mode? Are they hungry? Are they out there making it happen? Are they doing home meetings? Are they doing sit downs? Are they doing conference calls? Are they doing Zoom calls? Are they doing 3-way calls? Are they really hungry? The people in the field. That's going to be key when it comes to timing. If you find yourself where the leaders are not really going for it, they're not really out there making it happen every single day, then it becomes a challenge, because now who are people looking to? People are always looking to the leader. They're always looking to see, okay, what is she doing? Right? What is he doing? So you've got to make sure as a leader, no matter how much success you've had, you've got to make sure that you're still out there in the trenches, showing the plan, bringing on new people. But in order for you to do that, you've got to have full confidence in the opportunity that you're in. You know, if I don't have full confidence in the vehicle that I'm in, I'm not going to go fast. You know, I remember when I was driving my Malibu back in the day, I didn't go fast. I didn't go 80 in there, right? You know, now that we got different cars, guess what? I can go 80, I can go 90. In those cars, because I'm confident that the engine, what's on the inside of the car, not just on the outside, right? The outside can look good, but what's going on the inside? What's the infrastructure of that particular vehicle that I'm in? How is it really running? Because if it's not running right, eventually what's on the outside will crumble. Remember that, all right? So timing is critical. But then you also got to look at leadership. Now, guys, I know sometimes we don't want to hear this, and I've had to hear it over and over and over again. David, Everything rises and falls on leadership. Organizations that I've built in the past, teams that I've worked with in the past, I can tell you that they rose or they fell based on leadership, based on my leadership, based on a collective group of leadership. And guys, there is no perfect leader out there. Leaders are going to make mistakes. Leaders are going to have challenges. Leaders are going to do things maybe sometimes that you don't like, all right? But the core values of that leader, all right, of the people you're working with, they have to be aligned. If they're not, eventually things are going to erode. Relationships are going to fall apart, and things are just not going to go well in business. It's just the reality of things. It's not necessarily personal. It's just we're different. That's all it is. It's not you're better or I'm better or you're not great and I'm great. No. It's we're just different. So you've got to look at leadership, and leadership is about value. Leadership is about influence. Leadership is about being an example, right? Being an example. There's so many different things when it comes to leadership, but leadership not just in the field, right? If you're at a network marketing company, you can have leadership in the field. You also have to have leadership in corporate. Or if you have leadership in the corporate side of things, but not leadership in the field, then it becomes challenging. You've got to have talent on both sides. You've got to be willing to invest, reinvest back into the business so you can have talented people that are running on the back end. And then you've got to be attractive enough, watch this, you've got to be attractive enough to leaders, right? Leaders that would say, hey, I want to come to your company. But also, here's what you got to do. You've got to have an environment where you're developing new leaders. The way I look at it is this. You have free agents, all right? And then you have the farm team. You have free agents and you have the farm team. So free agent is someone that was already in the industry of network marketing, and for whatever reason, maybe a relationship breakdown, they're now open to another opportunity, all right? They were just in an opportunity. They were excited about it, pumped up about it. And then boom, something happens, right? And now they're open. That's a free agent. Now, I don't recommend that you go hunting, right? A lot of people do that. They go hunting for people that are in other companies. No, what I recommend is build genuine relationships with people that are in the same industry that you're in. Think about it, guys. If I went and bought an NBA team, I bought an expansion NBA team. And let's say I was going to put that team in, what city doesn't have a team? Iowa, all right? Let's say it was going to be in Boise, right? Boise is the city. It was going to be a team out of Boise. Guess what? I'm not going to go get 8th graders or high school basketball players to come and play in the NBA. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find people that maybe have played in the NBA. Maybe they got cut from another team, and now they're a free agent. I'm going to find people that maybe are coming out of college, right, that want to go pro. Or I'm going to find veterans. I'm going to find people that have been doing this, that understand how to play the game. I'm going to find a coach with experience. I'm not going to get a coach from 8th grade. I'm not going to get a high school basketball coach. I'm going to get someone who's maybe coached in the NBA before. I like to call them wounded warriors, right? Wounded warriors. But here's the thing. It has to be genuine. Write this down if you're taking notes. Never expect to receive a harvest from somewhere you've never sown. Stop expecting to receive a harvest from a place you've never sown. You've got to sow time. You've got to sow into that person in order to, whether you do or not, doesn't really matter, to actually have a return on your investment. And that return has to be reciprocal, right? Guess what? They have to get a return, right, from you as well. And maybe you get a return from them as well. But it has to be a genuine relationship that you have with that person. I learned this from Silas King, the late Silas King. You know, because when I was starting out, if you weren't in my company, it was like, get away. You're the devil. You're not in my company. You know, we got the best company, and we've got the best, and we've got the best. No one is the best, because everybody thinks they're the best, right? Everybody's got the best comp plan. Everybody's got the best whatever. That's not the case, because there are people that are winning in every company out there right now. Every company is somebody that's winning in that company. So you've got to make sure that, yes, you got the free agents, but let me tell you what you've got to do. Your company has to create an environment where leaders are being developed, right? Leaders are being developed. Now, here's the thing. Leaders cannot be developed in a house that's divided. Leaders cannot be developed in a house that's divided. Leaders cannot be developed in a house that's in chaos. It's impossible. Leaders, you have to create an environment where leaders want to be a part of it, but then also leaders want to stay in it long enough for them to develop into great leaders. So how long does it take for a leader to be developed? It takes 2 to 5 years for a leader to be developed. 2 to 5 years, that's how long it takes. So you got to make sure that you, as a leader, you're creating an environment that allows you to have a culture where leaders are being developed, they're being trained, right? They're listening to the right information, they're going to the right seminars, right? And they're being developed into being great leaders, all right? And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And being a great leader has nothing to do with a rank. There's nothing wrong with hitting ranks. Ranks are great, but that's like the lowest level of leadership, right? So you've got to make sure that you're creating that culture. It's really about how you treat people, all right? That's big. How you treat people that are with you, and how you treat people that are not with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this now for 18 years. I can't tell you how many people have left my organization. I couldn't even give you a number. It's in the millions, all right? And some you know, some you don't know, right? Recently, I've had many leaders leave my organization, decide, hey, listen, David, we love you, but we're looking for something else right now. Or, David, hey, we love you, but we don't agree with your leadership style. Or, David, we love you, but hey, I've just got to do something else. And here's what I'll say to those people. It's okay. It's perfectly fine, because why was I in this person's life? Was I in this person's life for personal gain, or was I in this person's life for mutual gain? Right? So the time that we were in, ladies and gentlemen, the time that we were together, guess what? We had mutual gain. You benefited, I benefited. If that relationship is now over, hey, listen, it doesn't have to end in bad blood. It doesn't, oh man, he's terrible, she's terrible, this and that. And we say it, but ladies and gentlemen, this happens all the time. It happens all the time. And a lot of times it happens when you get to the very, 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 very top. All right? They don't like it. All right? They don't like it because even though you're an independent business owner, right? You're independent. You're not really independent. They kind of, quote unquote, believe they own you, right? And as a leader, you don't own anybody, right? You don't own anybody. And this is all part of leadership. And I've watched this happen time and time and time again. And I'm like, people don't get it. They just don't. And they choose to do the same thing over and over again because they don't understand the power of relationships. Remember this, never burn bridges. Never. Never. I don't care what it is. All right. Recently, I found out some stuff that, didn't really feel too good. All right. Didn't feel too good. This is somebody that I really cared about, somebody I thought really cared about me, and found out, he or she did some stuff that didn't really like, but I'm like, you know what? I've got to understand it's okay. All right, I've got to understand that. And I'm like, I didn't like it, but it's okay. All right, listen, I know it's tough. Okay? But never burn bridges. Never burn bridges. Never do it. It's hard, all right? But don't do it, okay? So leadership is key. But then you got to make sure the company has a great compensation plan, right? Great comp plan. And then they got to have a product or service that works. These 4 things, ladies and gentlemen, these 4 things, that's what you want to make sure you have. But I'll tell you, leadership is, everything rises and falls on leadership, everything. And as a leader, you got to take personal responsibility. If things fall apart, don't look to blame anybody. Say it's that person's fault, because we all have a role to play, right? So is it that there's no blame? No, there's always blame. You just don't have to point the blame. And then you make the decision on, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to stay, build it? Do I want to go, build it? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you got to make sure that it's really tight, that the relationships are really, 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 really tight. Because if it's not, a house divided will never, ever, ever stand. So just wanted to share that with you guys real quickly. As you're out there building your business, make sure you take care of your folks. Really get a chance to know them and start building genuine relationships with them. All right, and I promise you this, it'll be very, very difficult. Not all of them, trust me, not all of them. But your farm team, people that you've developed, they're gonna be with you, all right? Because that trust is there, that relationship is there. and they're going to be there with you. All right, not all of them though. All right, just remember that, not all. Okay, but you'll have your fair share of people. So guys, listen, UK, we just released tickets for the event. I know Europe, UK, this event is going to be off the chain. The I Believe experience. It's going to be one full day of absolutely amazing training. You know, a lot of times, if you haven't been to a Believe Nation event, you may have heard me speak, maybe, you know, on a live or something like that. Or maybe you heard me speak at an event and it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. This is going to be hours and hours of really breaking this stuff down, Q&A, interactive training that we're going to have. We're going to have a workbook for you at this event here. We just locked down the location, so we're going to be releasing that here really, really soon. But the tickets are available. You click the link in my bio. You can get it. If you're out there in Europe, if you're out there in the UK, make sure you do this. Now, this event is not specific to any one company. It's not even specific to just the industry of network marketing. This event is for entrepreneurs. This event is for leaders, people that want to grow their business, people that want to grow as leaders, people that are probably working with people. If you're working with people, okay, and you want to scale your business, you want to grow your business, you want to become a better leader, this event is definitely for you. All right. So my who I am as an individual is not just for one industry or just for one person. Okay. And I don't recommend you do that either. I believe the gift that God has given you should be for all people. It shouldn't just be for one group of people. All right. So click the link in the bio. All right. VIP tickets are $197. I think that's like 150 pounds, something like that. $197 for the VIP. We only have 200 tickets though. We only have 200 tickets of the VIP ticket, and then we have general admission. General admission is $97 for you to actually get the general admission. All right, so go ahead, click the link in the bio, get your tickets. I believe VIP tickets are going to sell out very, very quickly. All right, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the UK. All right, love you.